Hello all, welcome to the channel. Today I'm bringing you an overview of the really nasty bankers game. If you have to run through, check out our video I'll be bringing you soon. So it's brought to us by these guys at the top right. It's a 2 to 6 player game and we're talking probably an hour to 90 minutes on this one. And how greedy are your family and friends? So this is a family game, folks. It's low complexity, there's roll and move, it's all a bit of fun. And here we are running our banks. So you got some quirky names, you got Full of Crooks, you got this one here, Rip Off Banking Corp, and then you got SKBC on the far left here, which sounds very familiar to a large organization. And we are taking charge of their money as a bank, and we're trying to make the most profits by sending our money. So you got all these cards, some are valued at 0 and they work. You got a few zeros to try and bluff players. You got 1 billion all the way up to like 10 billion, and you're trying to place these when you land on certain spots on these various asset classes, working away from property, mortgage, stock, currency and commodity, and they gradually go from kind of safe-ish all the way up to high risk in the commodity market, depending on where these boom and bust spinners lie. And there's more chance of that commodity market at bit risk in the bust market. Now, roll and move, so everyone kind of starts on this spot here, the start space. You'll roll those dice. So let's just say, I'm kind of mid-game here. SKBC rolls a 5, so you'll move around the side here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're on a cash or crash. So in terms of what the actions do then, you've got a cash or a crash, which means you could crash the bust market, which currently, let's say, is on the currency market. So you'd look at any investments on the currency market, and if you decided to crash it, any player who's got investments in there would lose them all. They haven't had a chance to get their payout. Or if you decide to do a cash, you'd look at the boom market. It's currently in the mortgage market, and everyone, hopefully yourself, would get payouts based on the mortgage market. And how that would work is you would reveal all these cards. You've got a 5 billion here for this player, 5 billion times 200 grand. So basically for each billion you've invested, you're going to get 200 grand. So 5 times the 200 grand is a nice payout of 1 million. And then this card is discarded and you only have so many. Now the aim of this game is to try and get to 10 million. You start with 1 million. When you get to 10 million, you trigger the game end, and then whoever has the most money is the winner. Maybe someone squeaks it on the last deal. Or if you run out of these cards, that triggers game end, and again, whoever has the most money. So that is cash or crash. Now, if you land on boom or bust, you get, so spinner, you get a chance to spin one of these. And maybe you're not happy with the boom markets on this one because you've got your investment in property market. So you could spin it. Or you could spin the bust market, because at the moment, this one here, it's in the commodity market and you've invested loads of money. You're like, nah, I need to spin it and get something else to be at risk. So that is what you do on the boom or bust. You could do nothing as well, or you've got these nasty cards, add a bit of variety, and some of them let you fix the market. So maybe instead of spinning it and having a gamble, you could play this card and you could turn the stock market in the boom. You could fix the market to make sure that the boom is the arrow is facing the stock market, which means that if you land on a cash or a crash and you decide to cash out some of your investments in that stock market, you've kind of rigged the market slightly on a future go. You could also, or you have to, when you land on one of these spots, you have to invest at that point in one of these asset classes. So the property market, the mortgage market, or the commodity market. And you can see they slightly differ, but you have to invest if you can. Sometimes the markets may be full and you're like, okay, I can't do that on the commodity markets. You have to choose one of these two. If somehow they're all full, then you just kind of skip it. Now, if you roll a double, you roll again, and as many doubles you get, you keep rolling. And you'll notice as well, you've got these bank spots. So not only do you start here, but on this side of the board and a replica on the other side is 2 spots, and you can do pretty much anything on this go. You can decide to cash or crash, boom or bust, or do an investment in any category you want. Only one of those like normal, so you can choose any one action you want. Now, you can kind of understand how you're going in these asset groups. You're trying to make money at the right time by playing a card or having it in boom and you land on cash and crash. But you can also have this regulator card that can be played, which is a nice little twist to the game. It's kind of this deduction, because as people are making these investments, you're like, well, okay, they're going quite safe in the property market. I'm not too worried about that. But let's say this player here had started investing, all these cards here, and you're thinking, you know what, they're trying to make a quick buck here. They might have a 3 billion, a 5 and a 7 billion. I am going to play a regulator card. And what this does, folks, it means that player has to reveal these 3 cards. And if the combined value of that investment is more than 7 billion, they are not only going to lose the card, but they are going to have to pay you compensation. So depending on, it doesn't matter how much more it is over the 7 billion, but if it is more, they're going to roll these 2 dice, and whatever the pip total is, so 7, you multiply that by 100 grand, so 700 grand in this case, and this player pays you 700 grand. But if you're wrong and this player has invested 7 billion or under, you have to roll this dice and pay them compensation for the inconvenience. So I like the little twist of this regulator card, and that's why there's these zeros in the deck and lower denominations, because maybe you want to play it risky, but you're still under, or 7 billion or under, but you're provoking people to try and challenge you with a regulator, and then you're getting compensation. That is pretty much the spots, folks. You keep going round. So let's just give you a demo. It can be worth sort of following other players. So maybe these guys have gone here. Everyone's invested in this particular market, and it comes round to commodity. Maybe someone's fixed it or just happened to land on there. Someone lands on cash or crash. We are cashing in. So the commodity market cashes in. Everyone reveals these, and everyone dependent on how much you invested. So this player, 8 billion. So for each billion, you're getting 500 grand. So 500 times the 8 is what, 4 million pounds. And you're only trying to make to 10. So that is why you maybe want to go risky here, or maybe trick people and put zeros. And you keep going all the way until someone has hit that trigger point. You're trying to play all these cards. You've got things like out to lunch, which takes you to this kind of spot up here, and you have to roll, I think it's over an 8, something like that, until you can get out. So it's kind of like the jail card, really. You've got things where public bailout, so take back your lost bank investments when a market is being crashed. So obviously when these have crashed, you're going to lose them, and equally when they've cashed in as well. So that's a nice way to get these back, because these are limited, and if you're very sort of rookie with these and you go all in and lose them, you're going to struggle to turn this your bank's money into profits for that 10 million. There we are, folks. That is the really nasty bankers game. A great one for the family.